Good afternoon. Well, good morning for me. Good afternoon or good evening or whatever the hell it is for you, my friendly friend out there who is now watching the Darth Grumpy Dad Games Twitch stream. God, that's a mouthful. I really do need to figure something else out for that. But, anywho, welcome to my little stream here. Running this dead game, Diablo III, running season 34, because I want the pet for this. Like, my main account, I already have all the pets and stuff. But on this here account that I'm playing right now, I do not have that pet. I do not have that little dude right there, and I don't have any the portrait frames. I don't have any of that for this account. So I'm running the seasonal journey to get that. I'm not really going to be pushing. I'm not going to be doing any. Well, I will probably end up doing some build analysis and how to on some of the builds. As of like, this is episode 6, and I haven't even looked at the leaderboards yet. Like, seriously, that's. Well, let's see. We're in Torment 4. I've got a kind of sort of build going here. I'm working towards the Firebirds build to start with because the seasonal build, the Hedrig's Gift, here, if I go look, should be able to go look here. We'll go here to the second one and look at the rewards, right? The wizard, it's Typhons, right? And I don't think Typhons is one of the builds I need for the conquest for the season, for the level 55 with 6 different builds, conquest, right? So I'm going to need 2 different characters to do that. I'll probably build a monk to do the other one because monk and wizard have always been my go-tos I have fun with. Although I've played like early on, I don't know, probably would have been 10 years ago when I first found the seasonal activities on, if even that long ago, maybe 6 years ago. Yeah, because for a long time I didn't even realize there was seasonal activities on D3 like this. Like, I'd seen it, but I didn't know what it was about. It seemed kind of silly, which was a huge mistake on my part. It was. But anyways, having said that, the conquest, if you go to leaderboards, yeah, the leaderboards, you go to conquest, and we look at these here conquest. Like, one of these here conquest, the years of war. Years of war. Right, oh, let's view details. Reach Greater Rift 55 solo with full bonuses of the 6 following class sets. So, I'm going to do Monk and Wizard, because they're the ones I'm most familiar with. So I'm going to need Firebird's Finery. That's the set I'm working on first, because it's the set I'm most familiar with. Then I'll need Talrosh's Elements, and I don't know, I'll make it, but I'll look around for because I'm not very good with Talrosh's Elements. It's a good build. It does plenty of fucking damage, right? It's a good build, been pretty solid for a few years now, but I suck with it. It's not my play style. It just, I don't know what it is. I can't get the rotation right. I don't know. I just suck with that build. But I can probably do a 55 with it. So that, and then there's Amazing Arcana. Right? So those are the 3 sets I'm going to be building to get this with the wizard. Right? And then I'm going to do a monk. All right? So I'm going to need the... where's the first monk build on this list? In his mantra, which easy, cheesy, pleasy, 55 with an in his mantras. Monkey King garb, I can do an easy peasy cheesy 55 with a Monkey King garb, which is Sun Wukong build, right? Monkey King garb is Sun Wukong. Super easy 55 with that. Remnant of the Thousand Storms, not so easy. That is just a garbage build. It just I can again. Okay, it's not a complete. Some people can run this build really well. I'm not one of those some people, right? So that's gonna. But those are the 6 builds I'm gonna build to get this conquest. And the other conquest, I can either with 3 gems to 65. That's gonna be easy as shit, right? This that's kind of hard to do solo. You generally need a crew to do that, and I don't really play with a lot of other people anymore, so that's probably not going to happen. Uh, kill boss mode. Kill on Torment 10. Kill what? It's not 20. It's like 18 bosses. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bosses. Those 16 bosses in 20 minutes, right? Which, if you have a speedy build like the POJ, if you use the oh Jesus, I can see the weapon in my mind's eye, and I know it's something vengeance, but with the POJ build or the wizard build, the Firebirds build, you can easily solo kill all 18 of those bosses within 20 minutes. Super easy. In fact, like I've gotten a 4-man group in with me who had no clue what was going on and soloed all them guys within 20 minutes without any help from the other 3 guys in the party. Like I would send them to go find bosses so I could teleport to them, but half of them didn't know how to find the bosses sometimes. But like newbies, right? But after a few runs, they were like, "All right, I know where I'm going," and we got this down. We could do this within about 5 minutes with 4 guys. So solo 20 minutes is pretty easy. So those will be the 3 conquests I will get for my that I'm gonna pull for that, and everything else on your seasonal journey just kind of falls in place. There's not too much you can't do or you have to go back and do, you have a hard time doing, right? All this stuff. See, like half this stuff is already done. I haven't even really applied myself to doing it yet. Some of the stuff you only get after T10, but once you get a full set, you're doing T16 all day anyway. What I've got going on so far, I've got Firebird's Finery and Firebird's Gloves, and I'm using 3 pieces of a guild right now because I haven't got my Ring of Grandeur yet, which is super disappointing. Best necklace that dropped so far is this one. This is because it gives me 10% crit chance, right? And I can roll fire damage on it if I wanted, but I just haven't because I'm not far enough in where it's a big deal yet. Rolled some fire damage on this because it was super easy, and there was I can't remember, like some stupid thing there, right? I haven't got this yet. Got a couple, just haven't got any good drops for rings yet. So I'm still just using these rares. Okay, and then I got Captain's Boots, Captain's Pants, and Captain's Belt, right? And then the guild set. Still got a yellow sword. That one, comes with 9.5 crit chance and plus 4 arcane per crit, right? Right? So yeah, that's a good one. I prefer it was the Firebird's Eye, but that's the one I've got so far. And then eventually this will be Death Wish. So unless it's a one-handed sword, right? So that's basically I'm getting myself geared. Once I get a Ring of Grandeur, then I will probably, since I've already got these and they're not too bad, right? They don't need to be good for what I'm doing, right? I just need to do T16 to complete the season journey, right? I don't need to worry about too much. Maybe push a 110. And with Firebirds, that's super easy. And once you get the T16 going and you get your gems leveled up, 120s are easy as heck. I'm trying not to cuss because my grandkids watch this. Like more and more, they watch my stuff, so I can't use my normal mode of diction. which is that of a drunken sailor. All right, excuse me, my headset died again. I should probably start a party. Make sure my voice, yeah, as long as my voice is showing up. And I should probably, since I don't have my PC, pull up the Twitch app on my phone. Make sure audio is going out. My channel. Doodle-doo. Doodle-doo. Oh, now the fucking... Doodle-doo. All right. Hey, what do you know? There is audio going out here. All right. Hey, what do you know? Turn that down. There's an echo going down now. And then maybe I can see chat once in a while. If anybody... Like, nobody ever chats in my chat. The only time I get a chat in the chat is maybe one of my kids or... Video's not coming up for the chat over here. Oh well. Close that. Just leave that. Post my own shit in the chat. It's stuff. Here we go. Oh man. You know the stickers here on Twitch? Blow. They blow. They're dumb. They're weak. And hey. Ooh, a soccer ball. What the fuck's Joker? I'm not in this. Let's think about it. There we go. For some reason, chat is not loading up here. There we go. Now it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. Let's do a little head bobby thing. There we go. All right. So, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm like, if you haven't figured this out, I am like the most trailer park trash streamer on the internet. Streaming straight from my Xbox with a cheap ass pair of Turtle Beach headphones, like this pair especially. This pair is like super old. Like one of the sides is broke and held together with a little bit of duct tape so it doesn't get broke more. Like, yeah, I'm telling you. This is what happens when you got a thick tongue, thick skulled knuckle dragger running the stream. I tell you what. No, anyways, what? Where the was I? Okay, those are going over my build. Yes, because that was going to be Death Wish sooner or later. So I'm getting the two-piece Firebird set. Right, so it just applies a lot of fire damage. 3,000% weapon damage is fire, right? Just disintegrate enemies, right? And then my guilds, I'm getting some bunch of damage reduction, bunch of damage, 30% plus another 32 elites, right? And the captain set, I'm getting 6,000 life per second, right? Reduces all cooldowns by 20%. Reduces all resource costs by 20%. Damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction, right? Damage taken is reduced by your percentage of cost, not a percentage of, but the percentage of, right? By your percentage of cost reduction. So it's a big deal on that set for noobs who don't know. Like anybody watching, I doubt anybody watching this is noob. They know. And if they don't, hey, welcome to D4 or D3, excuse me. And I play both games, so I consistently get it messed up, which like the buttons and the orders and how to get in and out of menus. Like, oh my God, it's pathetic. Pathetic. But we're doing this. We're running Act 1 bounties. I've gotten far enough in the doobly-doo to where I'm getting double bounty drops. I think I need to, my next is I need like 1,100 blood shards, which I can only hold 650 now. I think I need to run at least a GR 65 or something like that. Which, I mean, T4, which is like a GR 20, 25, maybe I might be able to do a 30 or something. But, yeah. So I'm a bit off. You know, if I get the Ring of Grandeur and one more piece of my Firebird set, of the actual kit Firebird's Finery, T4, I would probably be able to get it, push a T6 that would get to a 65. But, yeah. Till then, like, I don't want to go much more than Torment 4 because it just takes too long. It just takes too long to kill stuff. Like, you know, being able to kill stuff and not die, right? And be able to kill them in a reasonable amount of time is important, right? Yes, I can be pushing a much higher torment, but it wouldn't do me any good. I'm going the wrong way. What do I? Oh, I've done this already. I finished it. It's done. It's dudded. Next. The coffee was good this morning. Can you tell? Slept. I went to bed a little early. Got up. Took care of stuff. Oh. Come on now. Come now. Load in. Oh, dear Jesus. There are Jehoshaphat's. Oh, anyways, so not that I don't love you guys who are non-existent, only exist in my head. Not that I don't love you, but I need background noise as well because that is the level of my the level of damage I've endured from social media. Right, I have to have sound in the background. Okay, it looks like I was pretty much done watching that. I was trying to catch up on Mr. Crowder. Oh, and by the way, anything I'm watching, if I'm listening to it in the background, is free use. It's not members only content. It's free use content, right? So there's no violations to anybody who's going to whine about it. Like, you know, the YouTube algorithm. I got nailed on some music that was in a game. It was in the game. They're like, oh, you can't use that music. I'm like, what? Okay, so what do we got here? We got Steven Crowder, Gulf of America Day, why Trump's renaming spree is more important than whatever the fuck it is. Than you think. Yeah, sure, buddy, sure. It is. I'm not saying it isn't, but skip the ad. I let the ad start, but then I skip them. Yeah, it's kind of loud. Okay. 10 seconds. And these guys are a comedian, so they generally start their show with a bit of some sort. I'm Al Capone, see. Excuse me. It's cold where I live, like 20 degrees today. Well, it was 20 below zero when I went yesterday, 10 below on the way up to the Grand Kitty's houses.
Sometimes pushing out the competition. My one mistake was failing to pay my taxes and failing to get a guy with a lot of vowels or a precious metal in his last name to keep my books. This Valentine's Day could have been a write-off. Don't make my mistakes. Call Tax Network USA today.
Okay, what do you got? Kill 50 guys, kill Lady Dunyan's bones to rest.
By taking care of your business.
Okay, yeah. Talk to her. Ding a ding a ding donk ding. Ding a dong a ding donk ding. Don't have time to do that shit right now.
Trump is president again. He's gonna make America great again. Today we celebrate our Independence Day.
I finished it.
Click Rumble Premium and join now for $99 annually or $9.99 a month to get the entirely ad-free
Weeping
experience
Hollow,
and exclusive content
Kill
from Models,
Mira.
Benedict Apollo, Mr. Guns and Gear, Donald Trump Jr., and an ever-expanding roster of content, creators, free speech.
Yep, supposed to get up to 8 degrees today. 20 degrees over the week. Like, starting on that. And then it's going to snow, like, from Thursday till next Tuesday.
Yeah, you were concerned because you're a good person, and I used it against you.
Excuse me.
Today, yes, is shuttering DEI. I never thought I would see
Oh,
today. I don't know what
goodness.
DEI. Gulf of America. People are talking about this, but this is again the cultural shift that we are
Kill
seeing.
another
Remember we went from the era
25
of tearing down
red
statues,
bars here.
changing names, being ashamed of our heritage. That's the shift. It's not just about the Gulf of America versus Mexico, because America's better than Mexico, and I understand. Just stop.
Not all cultures are the same. Just get used to it. Get used to the idea. Just let it percolate and think about it. Right? Just think. There's countries where goats are considered a normal alternative to physical relationships with other human beings. Like normal. They just got a goat. They got a goat that goat's entire life is being that goat they go to for that certain attention. Right? In no way are all cultures the same. We're used to people who believe kill bad. Kill bad. Grapeage, bad. Groping somebody, bad. Well, that doesn't exist in 90% of the world. It just freaking doesn't, because it doesn't. Right? So,
weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, including
that's how that be.
Fridays. Captain Morgan, CEO, is with me as always, and Mr. Josh.
It's like we all live in nice little houses and nice little cities. It's like that in all the rest of the world. That's all like that. Like, man, that's stupid. People, there are so many people out there. It's like, we gotta save the world. And dude, no, the people there don't even want that. Like, the thing you think is real is not real. People who are living every day spend their lives. They go out, they find the food, and they eat the food. They find the water, they drink the water. Right? They're in 100% survival mode. It's called living hand to mouth. Those people don't care about plastic floating in the ocean. They don't care about leaving their droppings in the street, right? I'm trying to be kind about this with that because, as I've said, my normal mode of diction is that of a drunken sailor with Tourette syndrome. So choosing my language is not something I am accustomed to in any way, shape, or form. I usually just let whatever vowels fall out my mouth. Sometimes it just sounds like, but you know, that's the way it is. Sometimes it just doesn't come out right. Just sound like that. Now, to people who don't understand what I'm saying, like when I'm talking normally, I sound like that all the time. The people who want to live in fantasy land think, oh, that is so stupid. I can't believe you said that. How do you believe that? Well, because it's real. Because that's how the world works. That's, it's a fact. Right? Sun comes up in the east, sets in the west. The sun is the sun, the moon is the moon, right? That leads into the logical, the laws of logic, laws of thought, which are actually the laws of thought, that they've moved out to seeing logic that exists outside of the mind, but is mind dependent, right? Which means for them to exist, in the laws of method, you can't find one. Like, you can find a single thing in the world, but you can't actually find the number one in the real world. It's thought dependent. All logic is thought dependent. And, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm sure you know somebody. I'm sure you know somebody who doesn't know, doesn't understand, and refuses to interact with the idea that not all cultures are the same. That other people in the world regularly do things to adults and children and animals that we here in our little civilized Western nation believe is just abhorrent. Like, you don't even have to be religious to go, oh my God, that is so wrong. Why? I can't believe that is so gross. How do they do that? And they just do it every day. It's just a part of their life because they don't realize not all cultures, not all countries are equal. Right? They're just kind of stuck in this utopian mentality that doesn't actually exist. Right? It's just it's poor, bad form, baby. Oh, I'm missing what they're talking about. I guess it's old news, but it's a day or two old.
Reproductive rights. Abstinence. Okay, chastity, abstinence. Adoption. Contraception. Oh, motherhood. Abortion. We have a problem with the fifth, but you still got these four choices. Men, if the woman is pregnant, have no other choices. None. Now, I don't think that a man should ever ejaculate and not be willing to take care of that child, just to be clear. But to act as though it is not entirely a one-way street right now is the problem with the feminist mindset of perpetual victimhood. There has never been a more exempt, elevated social class throughout all of human history.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about
women,
the law of identity, right? X equals X.
They have every advantage humanly possible. And now
The law of non-inclusion in the middle, right? And the law of non-contradiction. Those are the three laws of logic.
Yeah, exactly. 2003, an example: Texas man had to pay $65,000. Child wasn't his. Michigan, $30,000.
An example of non-inclusion in the middle would be.
Yes, you get that detail wrong. Well,
I say penguins are black and white. Right? Well, the person I'm talking to would say, well, some penguins have yellow feathers over their eye. Therefore, no penguins are black and white. That is an example of that type of argument. It's the same type of argument you hear people make regularly when they're like talking about abortion or a whole plethora of things, right? That just because there's this incredibly small segment of the population, two gloves, what the fuck is that? That requires X. That means that, the other 99% of the population must bow to doing and allow and be okay with X activity that, 0.1% whatever of the population is doing. The 1% of the population is. That is non-inclusion in the middle. It's a logical fallacy, and it's fucking stupid. Right? And then they will use it as an argument when you're speaking about things that happen in the world as generalities. In general, persons do this. In general, persons do that. Right? And then they will say, but the small percentage of people don't do that. Therefore, we're going to say everybody does it, and everybody must do it, and they must accept it. That is a violation of a law of third. It's, non-inclusion in the middle. All right. And I haven't really come up with what I feel is a good argument, a good way to describe the large, my brain just drew a blank. It does that. See, that's why, this is why This is just why things are the way they are in my life. Because I draw blanks a lot. You always have, because I am an ADHD autistic fuck-ass bitch. Oh, there I go, breaking. I didn't say any of those curse words. I really didn't. But, the law of non-contradiction, right? Like, I haven't heard one. Of course, you can't contradict yourself. You can't say, like, oh, yeah, the sun comes up in the east, but it also sets in the east. Right? That would be... But I haven't, like, gotten a good, funny one. I haven't, because it's not one I have to deal with too often. Because most people understand when they're, you say, yeah, no, that's a contradiction, dude. You can't do this and that at the same time. Whatever it is. And a lot of people get that. They just get it. They understand. Oh, yeah, you're right. That would be silly. Okay, didn't get. Let's do this again. Get another one of these. They got $535 million. I need that ring of grandeur. I don't know why. I have terrible RNG when it comes to getting this thing. Like, I'll be running with somebody, and they'll get it out of the first cache on a regular basis. I'll be like, the first, they're like, oh, got a ring of grandeur. Like, occasionally that'll happen for me. But occasionally, oh, I killed the grandeur. I must now kill 145 more little red bars. That being said, my heart does break when you see some of the leaked footage. Employees at PBS have not been taking this news well. Hi, welcome to Elmo's world. Oh, this is a bit. Hi, Cookie Monster. Hi, Elmo. Cookie, you're just in time to join Elmo's LGBTQ party. What does Elmo want to do? We all go around and talk about how LGBTQ has enriched our daily lives. Sorry, they just got rid of DEI. Did they really? Why oh why? Fuck me! Why oh why? Fuck me! Fuck me! Why oh why? Fuck me! And that was written backward from trying to pair up choo-choo with something profane. We probably could have kept the chugga chugga. We probably could have kept the chugga 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 chugga. We didn't really need to change that. When you're 5, 6 in the morning, you do what you can. Hey, don't let tax issues overpower Oh, this is a paid ad, but at least they do it as a bit usually. They don't really do a lot of cold read stuff.
The government, the same government who thinks that it is a crime against humanity for the IRS to potentially be audited. They will be up your hiney with a sigmoidoscope. Don't make a mistake. TNUSA.com/Crowder. You know, we talked enough about it. So I'm thinking
somebody had a procedure, right, you know, recently, because they knew the name of the tool. Like, I'm not positive that's the name of the tool, but I'm saying the name of the scope that goes up your road area.
Is that what inspired what we see today? I had to do the Kwanzaa rap, and it was so bad they cut out the remaining verses and replaced it with background singers. And that's when I discovered how much I hated Kwanzaa, because I'd never heard of it. I was 12. I was like, oh, this guy, you mean this was created by a guy named Ron Everett? And he did what to bitches? He beat them with fire hoses? And he flooded their mouths with cleaning solution? Oh, he beat them with soldering irons? Wow, this guy's a monster. I found the court records. The point is, it's stupid. I take no pride in my contributions to Arthur.
You still cash the check, though. That $10 a year for that Christmas episode.
I did do the Christmas episode. I'm going to take it to Golden Corral this year, I think. Oh, there you go.
It's Golden Corral. We don't have a Golden Corral where I live. We did, but like it shut down and hasn't. There was like
People are talking about Gulf of America.
I don't know. I didn't hear about anybody dying from eating at Golden Corral. You know, occasionally somebody had some violent excretion of liquid from their derriere, but or some vomiting. But I don't remember. I didn't hear of anybody dying from stuff going on there.
In our halls of government, our historical sites, public schools, this happened under Barack Obama.
We grew up, like, I don't know, man. I grew up kind of in the country. We kind of, you know, killed our own food, fished for our own food, had a garden, right? Drank well water.
The direction we're heading as a country, the same direction we always were. It changed for a few years. So I want you to understand, this is a course correction. So under Obama and under Biden,
how many more? Oh, come on, give me 6 more.
I remember back then saying, yeah, okay,
Where are all the monsters? Where are they? One more, come on. You can just run around the outside here and there's just a bunch. They hate me. This game hates me today. Freaking hates me. Where the fuck are all the monsters?
Will officially be renamed Fort Liberty. Dropping the historic Confederate namesake is part of the post rebranding.
The main part of it has been removed. The memorial represents the
What? Like one monster? What the? Fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, thank you. For cheese and rices.
From its former perch outside the American Museum of Natural History. At Interior, we are telling the whole
The destruction of American history. Well, and specifically the destruction of Democrat history, because all these monuments, all these things, those people were Democrats, right? all of the states that left the Union during the Civil War, they were all Democrats. They were Democrat states. Abe Lincoln was the first Republican president, right? He founded the Republican Party. Now, the usual argument counter is, oh, well, they flipped sides. They totally, man, no, they never did. They never did. That's, like, they didn't. Like, that can't be, like, it was, well, yeah, okay, well, let's go back, let's look. Let's look what these guys are saying and those guys are saying in each party. There's no proof. It's all just, like, assumptions. They just grant themselves the position of this happened. And no, they can't prove it. They'll be able to go, oh, this one guy said. What is that argument again? This one guy who's a Republican said Therefore, all Republicans. What is that again? What's the logical fallacy? Non-inclusion of the middle. It's a fallacy. It's like you're giving a behavior or activity to an entire group of people, right? That doesn't apply. It just doesn't. And then when you go look at voting records, oh my God, the Dixiecrat, the idea of the Dixiecrat and all these Democrats became Republicans and blah, 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 blah. Dude, that's not real. If you go back and look, all those guys that were supposed to be Dixiecrats just lost their seats to other Democrats or to other Republicans. There were like four guys that switched parties at the time. It's stupid. It's fun. And every time like somebody brings it up, and I'm like, get your phone out, look it up. Tell me about this, and they'll post. Like sometimes, like I've been in discussion with people, and then we'll post the Senate seats and go, see, and I'm like, yeah, this is my point. You didn't actually read this. You didn't look at me. Show me in this where it says what I'm saying isn't true. They're done. They're gone. They just disappear. Just disappear. Go on. That's it. Because there were four guys. So, like, three of them left politics almost immediately. Right? One guy, like, good old Strom. Good old Strom. Can't even remember his whole name. Just Strom. Was a Democrat. Was an avid racist Democrat who became a Republican, and then he became one of the greatest proponents of civil rights and the civil rights movement in the movement. It's like they just all pretend that didn't happen. They didn't go to bat. They didn't seriously change his ways.
So I think this is good. This is progress. And next, it seems they may think about changing the Statue of Liberty back to her original name, Copper Tits.
Copper Tits. Oh my good Jesus. Oh, and on screen they have the Statue of Liberty like in a bikini.
This brings us to another. It's not just that's the one that gets the most press. But Fort Bragg became Fort Liberty, and now it's Fort Bragg again. This is a matter of policy, or as the left would say, Project 2025, something. Here's Pete Hegseth, new Secretary of Defense.
Oh look, I'm wrecking stuff here. I do need to step up. I am killing stuff too easy at this point. Let's finish this round of bounties, then we'll go up. It is a little, or maybe I can just do away. I don't think my cooldown is fast enough to put teleport on yet.
Makes sense. Good. Now, it's one of our most.
But we'll give it a try. We'll see. We'll see.
And it was changed by Biden for Liberty, I believe, in 2023, and that's because it was originally named after a Confederate general, right? Braxton Bragg. Really cool name, by the way. It's like a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah. Sounds like a Gen Z name, Braxton.
Braxton, but Bragg is pretty cool.
Bragg is cool.
Put it together, Braxton Bragg.
The original BB.
Sounds like a damn monster movie. Now, it was named this time after World War II hero Roland L. Bragg. And that even once people found out that little switch, even some anti-Trumpers like Foreign Policy's Emma Ashford she said, that's actually a good compromise.
See? Fair's fair.
Yeah. You don't have to destroy stuff.
It's an iconic name, though.
Right. It is
Fort Bragg has so much history to just keep it Bragg.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine that if you were to ask most people who were there, who were stationed at Fort Bragg, they'd say, yeah, I prefer Bragg. It's not that Liberty is. There's nothing offensive about something being called Fort Liberty. It's the intent behind it to erase history because let's judge people
Democrat
from
history.
centuries ago by today's cancel culture standards.
These were all Democrats, man. They were Democrats.
Right. Like that's gonna fix
They're erasing their tear down statues of Democrats.
That's me.
Yeah,
It has impact on some, like veterans and military.
And telling people
But just the fact
they're Republicans or that they're that. No, these were Democrats.
Special
They
forces.
were
Fort
lifelong
Bragg's home of special forces.
Democrats.
Right.
Some other special
That
operations
is not the
forces.
Firebird's eye. I do not
That's
believe.
really what it comes down to. Is the
Or the
pride
Chanderos
done
or
being
something.
ashamed, even if some people were imperfect. I know you're going to talk about some founding father banging a black chick. I don't care.
Yeah, another Chad.
Not
Chanda,
Another example.
no,
Donald Trump announced,
Chandar.
I
Oh,
believe it's
Talrash is
January
waving.
20th.
All right.
Was it
I'm gonna need that English. I just don't need it right now.
Description for all references.
Not right now.
The name Mount McKinley was going to be restored. This is a matter of policy.
At least Firebird's eyes got fire damage on it as well. All right.
Of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
Again, this is something no one would have thought twice
Scavengers, scabbard.
about in 1917. They said, okay, the highest peak in North America, we're going to name it after what at that point in time they viewed as arguably one of America's greatest presidents. So it became McKinley. McKinley was, of course, he was a Republican, annexed Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Philippines. So a proponent of tariffs, who was assassinated in 1901 by a really weird gun, though that's been scrubbed from history. And of course, Barack Obama hated him. So he renamed McKinley to Denali.
And car?
Yeah, it's a trim, I believe. I don't fully understand it. But the Denali, that car's okay. But the name is actually, it's after a Native American word used for the high one, which if the shoe fits, it wouldn't expect that. 70s are talking about it. Here's the high one. You should see his Windex stockpile.
The media right now is like, I thought you were going to focus on the economy. I thought you were going to focus on things that mattered. I don't remember them saying that when Barack Obama was on the name-changing spree. I certainly don't remember them saying that when Joe Biden, former vice president, of course, respecting the office, was allowing people to tear down statues at every turn. I don't remember them saying focus on what really matters. Then I thought this was, oh, the nation is healing. This is good for us. It's finally going to be changed back to an indigenous name for those people. That's fantastic. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's one of those deals where I was like, wait, why do they have to change Mount McKinley? Like, it wasn't like he was a slaveholder. I'm like, oh, they said that Native Americans were upset about it. You know, some native high on Windex looked at it and a single tear came down their cheek. Why do I have to look at that? It's named after McKinley. Does my people call it Denali?
Yeah, that'll...
The high one. No.
I got an uncle named Denali.
That's his prison name.
Yes.
So.
Mine too. Now, here's what it is. It's a reflection of policy.
Waste.
I know that a lot of people
Wasted
hate Biden,
time.
but a lot of people, if you haven't been around long enough, Barack Obama, I mean, his wife, said that when her husband was inaugurated, was the first time she was ever proud of her country. That was an administration that wanted to undo centuries of American exceptionalism and move us toward socialism. So it's a reflection that paves the way. It sets the stage for the policy, whether it's Obamacare, whether it's record subsidization for green energy, whether it's giant slush funds, right? Entitlement programs that are unprecedented. It's a reflection of the policy. And you're not going to know the results of the economy for a while.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
We do know under Barack Obama, average household median income or average household income went up about, I believe, $1,400 in 8 years. Donald Trump.
Yep, I was when Obama came to office.
$4,400, depending on the metric you use. So we know
I
in his first term,
was still doing the carpenter gig.
and we see not only McKinley, and we see
I
not
was
only Gulf
union
of
carpenter
America,
at the
and we see not
time,
only Fort Bragg, but it's the
and
spirit
in my
of
location, the
Western
main union
civilization. For
carpenter
example, he
gig
restored the bust of
was
Winston
building
Churchill
scaffold in the
in the
refinery.
Oval Office, which is kind of shocking to think
And
that someone
the
proactively
day
was
Obama
angry
was
enough
elected
at the
to
idea of
office,
the bust of Winston
they
There are some like pseudo historians out there.
I know it sounds.
Pretty big shows that
They had all these projects worked on, and they postponed all projects except turnaround maintenance for 2 years. So for 2 years, I didn't have hardly any work in the profession I'd been working for like
to take on those guys.
2 to 4 years, making good money. I mean, good money for thick tongue. But I was tan because I worked outside. But thick tongue, pasty face, thick skulled, unibrow knuckle dragger that I am. I was making some pretty good money. It was quite all right, And I enjoyed building scaffold, right? You go somewhere in the refinery and you build a safe working platform somewhere for someone in a place that would be considered entirely too dangerous to work normally. This guy is right, like, what the hell is this? I can't.
Of your subscriptions that are live, it is Rumble. We own live, and of course we continue today on Rumble.
That is some smack right
I
there.
just wanted to make that point because I have seen people talking about the Gulf of America and making fun of President Trump and making fun of, MAGA supporters and saying this is the stupidest thing. The world is kind of laughing at us.
Yeah, those 8 years under Obama were
just like the story that we just told.
harsh.
That's what matters.
Like-
It's not in a vacuum.
Like all the refineries, all the power plants, everybody who had businesses that were producing knew that that administration was going to have an
And to point back and go, this person did a lot of things great, but they did
anti-energy agenda. Let's just call it. Let's say it that way, right? That they were
sense to people who don't really follow this stuff, but as a total
just not.
that's
You
the
know,
story you need to be
they put a bunch of taxes and same thing Biden does during his administration. Not sell any oil leases to drill for oil on government land. Right? They just don't grant them. So yes, they like, you know, oil companies aren't complete retards, right? They will just punch a bunch more holes in the areas where they can already drill for oil and suck more out of the ground to keep production up. But then now the earth will naturally replace the oil, right? It's just something the earth makes. But it does take time, right? And if you punch too many holes in one of these areas, you can outpace how quickly the oil gets replaced, right? As to what you're taking. Obama also shut down American oil leases in the Gulf of Mexico, right? So the floating oil rigs out there, those things are super expensive to maintain and run. And so if the Americans who had been renting them and using them, you know, they're owned by companies who rent them out to the oil companies. It's kind of why they don't own their own and do it. I guess it just works out better to have another company own them and da-da-da.
How much do you know about South Africa? Do you know what's been happening?
Oh, South Africa is like Nelson Mandela, the savior of South Africa, would when questioning people, would put a spare tire around their neck, pour gasoline in it, and light it on fire. They called it the Mandela necklace or necktie or something like that. I can't remember. They had him and his wife had a nickname for it. And they would do it to people that opposed them politically right? It was like Nelson Mandela was in prison because he was a terrorist, right? They didn't put him in prison because he said nice things. He was a terrorist. They actually worked on killing people and blowing things up. Right? He was a terrorist. Now, when people talk about, Captain Peace, Mr. Nelson, they leave that out. They just leave that out. They pretend the guy wasn't a terrorist and he was the savior of South Africa. No, he was a brutal dictator. It's like, what the? When people talk about Che Guevara or what's the name from Cuba? The other guy from Cuba, right? You can see his face in my mind's eye. Yeah, they were brutal terrorists, murdering, they were not good people. Not good people, right? And people just pretend like, oh yeah, man, no, it's good. They were cool. It's cool. It's all good. No, it was. No, bro. No. Oh, this dude does a great Trump impression.
Also, because of this, I will be cutting off all aid to South Africa until further notice. And an executive order from President Trump also called for the United States to, you heard that he won't take in refugees, take in and resettle Afrikaner refugees. These are largely the white, I guess Dutch refugees who are responsible for owning a lot of the farms there in Africa, who are actually
and no legendary items. What the freaking shit?
Not a crappy country like
What
Guatemala,
the
a
freaking
government
frick?
that has, through law and policy, targeted them because of their race. I want to be crystal clear about that. And this has been going on for a long time. Many of you have been blinded by your white guilt. We'll get to to this after. Live Aid, you think Freddie Mercury? Yeah, he belted a couple out while he had AIDS. We funded genocide. Do you understand that? Because our money goes to genocidal maniacs. You're not fixing the problem. We have been an accessory to evil. And here to discuss this, and we will
51.
have a
Ooh,
disagreement,
I
and we
can
will
do
always
two.
welcome someone to have a
Let's
disagreement, is
gabble
Democrat
for
Senator
orbs here.
Corona.
See if we can get a Firebird.
I really do appreciate you taking time.
Aloha, Mr. Crowder.
Oh, it's kind of shitty, but right on.
Part of my responsibilities as a guest on the show.
See if we can get our Orb of Infinite. Nope.
Actually, I thought I'd ask the question since it's my show, so let me...
Since you become a legal adult, have you ever tried to have sex with a woman with or without consent?
Okay, but that's out of left field. I want to ask you more about South Africa.
What kind of woman are you looking for in your sexual partner?
Senator, I partly think
Let's
that's...
Do you like
see.
a woman to look and smell like Hulua Pua?
Well,
Sorry,
until I get a ring grinder, we'll just put this in.
I don't know what you're asking me. We need to stick to the topic
Just,
as to why you are here.
It's a new outfit.
Save it. I can try and re-roll it later or
Okay,
something.
I don't
But
feel
I
comfortable with
still need a
correction,
ring
Senator
grinder.
Hirono.
I'm not hearing an answer to my
Didn't even get any
Okay,
legendaries
Tim, I
out of
think
that
we can
one.
cut this, actually.
Steven,
Whoops.
I'm horny.
Wow. She's quite a pervert.
She's a saucy minx.
Yeah, that's
Track mind.
What do you like?
Let's try this.
Let's get into what is actually happening, I guess, in South Africa. So you hear about the cutting of the funding. Now, the left, again, the worldview, Department of Education, right? The worldview, the IRS. The left's worldview is
And I'm going to
more
go back
money equals
to...
more virtue. The only way that you can argue the United
get
States
this back
should
on.
continually provide financial aid to Africa, South Africa specifically, in the way that we have been, is if you ignore all of reality and say, yeah, but it doesn't matter because we're giving them more money, therefore that makes us better people. Yeah, hold on a second. More
Okay,
money
let's
to the
run
Department
one
of
of these
Education, that'll
first.
fix it. And if it
That
doesn't,
should
it still
move.
makes us better people because we're okay giving your money to this department. There can be no case
Move up
made
our
that any money coming from the United States
possible highest to run Greater Rift and see if we
of
can...
fundamental human rights. Does everyone here understand that? You guys can comment how much you know about South Africa. So
Okay, yeah, still
last
killing
month,
stuff pretty
the South African president,
quickly.
Cyril Ramaphosa, signed the Expropriation Act, right, of 2024. What does this do? This allows expropriation of land without any compensation. Theft.
Yeah, exactly. Expropriation.
Yeah,
We
they've
get to
been-
steal your land.
We get to
Stop
steal
using
your land.
fancy words.
They've
You
been
have to say steal.
And
killing
they
and
get to do
stealing
it
the
if it's
land of white
justified.
farmers in South Africa
And what falls
for
under that umbrella?
a couple
Just
decades now.
and
Since right after
equitable.
apartheid, right?
And in the public interest. There's that key word, equitable. Remember, I've always said this. You can have equality, or you can guarantee equity. A government that says we are going to steal your land in the name of equity, or a government that says we are going to forbid you, even though qualified, from entering this college because of equity. DEI, equity, guaranteeing equity is guaranteeing outcomes which the only
Right,
guarantee you get is that
still.
you will rob people of deserved opportunity. Equal opportunity or equity, you have to pick one. South Africa, the murderous, racist crap hole that it is, has chosen equity. They have chosen
Yeah, it's tough to
tyranny.
get a good
So,
Firebird's
it
eye
needs
that
to be
has
equitable. Right? It needs to be
near
equitable. That's their justification. Well,
high
let me
crit
give you some
damage,
context here. 3/4 of
fire
privately owned land
damage,
in,
and
in South
plus
Africa owned by
4
white South Africans. They make up
arcade
about
per
8%
crit,
of the
right?
population. So, they're going to be stealing land
Because
from
instead of
white
just needing
South African
2 things on
name of
that
equity.
bad boy, you need 3.
How do they do
You need
that?
fire
Gunpoint.
damage,
Starting
which is like 20%. So
And they would claim that, oh, it's racism that allowed this inequity
Sure.
to kind of develop. And it's like, oh, okay, so let's just assume that you are correct there. So your solution is more racism? Right. You need to make sure that you have enough racism on top of racism to make sure that the racism is equal. What's your solution?
Ramaphosa, the president, his defense of it, it makes it even worse. He said, the recently adopted Expropriation Act, it's hard to say in that voice, is not a confiscation instrument, but a constitutionally mandated legal process that ensures public access to land in an equitable and just manner as guided by the Constitution. So hold on a second. It's equitable to take someone's land and not pay them, to kick them off their own land.
And murder them while you're about it. And yeah, kind of the same thing happened in Australia as well after they like made guns illegal and went and took everybody's guns. There was like a murder spree happened out in the countryside, where all these isolated farmers were just out there unable to defend themselves anymore. And the criminals were like, "Yeah, guess where we're going? Yes, who we're robbing now? Because you know who doesn't turn in their guns? That's right. The bad guys. The criminals. They just get illegal ones. They go do what they were going to do anyway. And you just become their victim. Just, just another victim.
There was just more famine. So it turns out if you try to force equitability by saying, "You're black, take the farm," he's like, "I don't know how, I don't own a rake." It doesn't work. Famine is what you will see. Also, you have to ask yourself, if it's racism that created this scenario, okay. Hey, the black South Africans, you outnumber them. At any point in time, how is it that such a small subset have been so successful in cultivating these crops? 8% of the population. For some examples, I would point to pretty much every other African nation. They've never gotten it right. Not with AIDS, not with freedom, not with basic human rights, not with government. And we've been giving them so much money for so long. It's not any better. So we also have some policy changes here. For example, we're talking about Donald Trump bringing in Afrikaner, I believe is how it's pronounced, refugees, because in September 2024, Ramaphosa signed a law giving government authority to dictate language used in schools as well. So this law can be used to force schools to stop teaching in Afrikaans, which is a language that a lot of these white South Africans use. Black-owned businesses, they get different market access, preferential market access, because they are black.
That sounds strangely similar to what they were pushing in the Biden administration.
Also, strangely similar, the government renaming any places that were named after
Starts in a race. They're hungry. Well, you just had breakfast a little bit ago. What are you hungry for?
They've been attacked, murdered, their land has been destroyed with no protection from the government. So I know some of you are going to say, hasn't this been going on for a while?
And again, this is free use. What I'm listening to, the Slaughter with Crowder, is free on the internet to listen to you. So this falls under free use for me to listen to while I'm doing this and talk about, because I myself am incredibly bored, not entertaining in any way, shape, or form. And my brain is broken. I need background noise. Social media addiction. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm addicted to things.
Here's what's not funny. We couldn't even
Unreal.
even help undergird
Digital things, yes. It must be
because in
digital.
Africa you have a
Digitally addicted to the digital realm
the primary opposition
via
is a
digital
would-be
ways.
murderous communist.
It's all digital.
So you either get a fascist racist
Digits of
tyrant,
digitalness.
or you get a fascist racist communist. So
Yes.
Julius Malema,
Yeah.
he's the leader of the primary opposition party there, the Economic Freedom Fighters Party, a Marxist party. They're not a ruling party, but they're incredibly influential. They have a lot of popular support. And so the alternative to the government policy of seizing land of white people.
Normally, at least I got my little laptop open so I can watch chat, but nobody ever chats me. The only people that ever show up in chat on Twitch are the people who want to sell me views and sell me chat. It's like, dude, I'm a broke-ass, old, disabled grandpa dude who plays video games and streams it for my grandkids to watch. Hi, grandkids. They don't even watch them on Twitch. They watch them on YouTube. Right? It's like, that would have been a good time to have teleport on through that. I just hit that. Pile on. Oh, jeez.
I know what you're saying.
It
Hey,
sounds like they're talking about murdering all the
taken
white
out of
people.
context. So then
That's
here's another clip of Malema
what?
chanting.
No, that's
Right.
gotta be out of
Boer, white
context.
farmers, kill the boar.
The board of the white people. The 8% of white people in South Africa.
Maybe he doesn't need shoes.
Is that the Super Bowl?
Defend that one.
I think he does need shoes.
Paula Biden, I said bullseye, not target. I said slice the throat and kill the boar. I didn't see whatever you thought I said.
No, I said kill the poor.
That's
Wait,
right.
wait.
Wait, that's me. No. Now, in his defense, he also, no one is all good or all bad. He also did crucify, personally, Leonardo DiCaprio for the worst South African accent in film ever.
Who?
You know, in America it's bling bling, but out here it's bling bang, huh? He did that. And then my brew. The whole time in that movie.
You're all on fire. You're all on fire. You're all going to die. Die. Die.
Very influential
Oh, I got
musician,
more of them than I thought I
here
would.
and there.
I really did.
He also loves retweeting
I got way more of them.
propaganda
Oh,
posts from Jackson Hinkle. What? This is from Jackson Hinkle saying Julius Malema is one of the most lied about men on earth.
Oh, yeah?
The media hates Malema because he is fighting the banks. Okay, but here's the thing. I don't hate him because he's fighting the banks. I dislike him. Hate is a strong word because he has said slice the throats of white people and kill the white people.
Attention. Don't forget. Attention.
Yes, that's a very paunchy soldier.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's too quick, man. We're trying to bra bra over here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what their rate of fire is. This is it's not about him. It's not about him fighting banks. Think of the propaganda from the left at this point. And this is the problem. If you are misinformed, and I have not seen them cover this on CNN at all. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen almost any media cover it, which is why I had to brush up on making sure I pronounce the names hopefully properly because I've only read them. I have not seen it.
You actually got
covered.
it wrong. It's Malemo.
I get it. Hey, that's not my name. I'm not lame, you're lame.
It is now.
I am rubber.
Oh, hey.
We have
The
no
staff of Lycanda.
shortage. White farmers were good at it.
Ho, ho, ho.
So gross.
That's a mythic unique in D4. That's like really, really good weapon in
If you
D4.
don't know what has happened in South Africa, you would think, why are we cutting off aid to poor black people? Donald Trump, racist. No, we're no longer going to be assisting and funding arguably, maybe not genocidal
Can I
yet,
put that
but
in
would
you?
be genocidal
Do I
and
have- what is the
certainly
weapon I
currently
currently have?
tyrannical regimes predicated on racism. That is what we've decided we are not going to support. You actually may have people out there who believe still today in 2025 that My God Live Aid was anything other than a travesty of human rights. You just don't know. You don't know because you don't realize how bad it is. Anywhere else, it's not the United States of America. Here's the thing, you don't have to.
That might help for a while.
You just need to
That's
know
how
that
it's
we're
done.
not going to fund it. The starting off point should be
What do we got?
someone needs
Ooh,
to
we got gamble
justify to
goods.
this country why they get any money. And it should be a really, really high bar to clear.
And a nice presentation.
Yeah.
Yes, a good
Oh, I
presentation.
need
Nice video or
Orb
a
of
slideshow,
Infinite
maybe a
Depth.
live presentation.
Yes. We don't have
That's
all
how
white,
Rosh
but
is.
okay with the whiteboard. Hi, Paola. You see the throat being sliced?
That's the whole whiteboard.
This is the boar. I'm killing him. You see under it, so more money. No. That's fair.
I prefer a blackboard instead of a
Chapter
whiteboard.
2.
It is,
Theocorpus.
it's a high bar to clear. And before we get to, hold on a second. Is it really in our self-interest to...
I have RN
proxy
bad.
Ukraine, or is it really in our self-interest to, for example, be the only nation contributing what we are to NATO? Before we get to that, and I do think those are legitimate discussions to have, and my opinion on both of those would be no.
We'll just throw
We
it in there for
certainly shouldn't be
now. Take a
arguing
look at it
about
later.
the idea
All right,
of
all
our
right, all
government
right.
handing
So,
over any money to someone who
that
is telling
should-
us that they will use it to rob their citizens and potentially kill them.
What? Oh,
Actually,
okay.
you may not know this.
To a
African-American,
27.
formerly South African, Elon Musk, hates Malema so much he actually called for him to be sanctioned on X, saying that immediate sanctions for Malema and declaration of him as an international
five.
criminal are the steps that we need to take. And what's that?
Did Elon really change his name to Harry Bowles?
He did. Good for him.
Classy.
Sorry. Everyone always wants to tell you it's nuance. This is not nuance. Okay? There are good allies, Japan, Argentina.
We got the
Salvador.
big balls.
Treat them well. There are bad
She's
nations
got
out
the
there that
big
commit acts of evil.
balls.
They get nothing.
They got
From the
big
United States.
balls,
It's really that
but
simple.
we
And again, for
got
those
the
of you
biggest
who've
balls
forgotten,
of them all.
in South Africa, the white folks there have been the direct victim of targeting systemically
All right.
and robbing. It's been pretty tough for them.
Let's run. What am I doing? Oh yeah, gonna run these again. See if we can get ourselves a ring of grandeur.
We give them the fight.
Ring of grandeur is not gonna drop from that port. Like I'll get like, you know,
I really want to dive into that because I never knew
more
or
something.
The results were terrible. Yeah.
More death breath by going in there and doing that, but I don't. And possibly more legendaries. But I need a ring of grandeur, right? Like then I can put that Firebird's Eye on and get a 4-piece bonus, and probably be able to push T10.
We're going to be talking about live, but you know what? I actually think as it relates to
Maybe start getting some of them crucibles.
Hey,
But I haven't even seen one of those yet either. Seasonal drop. Haven't seen one at all.
civilization. Then why does it still suck?
Haven't seen.
I mean that people
Haven't seen a Ramadan ding dong. Ramadan use gifts like put sockets
in Western nations as the
on things. Have not
result of the
seen the primal scream or whatever you call it.
in many instances, not all, that they have
Primordial scream.
Why have you always sucked? And why would any American, African Americans, why would any American want to associate with the lesser of their identity? Do you know what's going on? If you were an alien landed on Earth
Poor guy.
now and you just
There's something going on with him.
guess what's
I don't
wrong
know.
with that entire
Poor
continent?
guy.
You certainly would ask the question, wait, this place with all the lights on? This place with high-speed rails? This place where they have basic human rights? They're funding the darkening? The lack of technology? The lack of human... of this place? What kind of a planet is this? Do they know what the money does when it goes to these places? These would be the questions that you would ask yourself. The only reason that we haven't is because it's the same reason that right now you're going, oh,
It's like looking anything up on the internet, right?
white guilt.
Like say,
That's all it is.
I look up the Super Bowl, right? What was it good? And I could watch this for a while ago. I don't know if I said that before, but it's like I've been sober for a while now, and I got tired of seeing a beer commercial every 30 seconds when I don't drink. It's just like, why are you glorifying this thing that cripples people's lives? Just like, just straight up. There's so many things in society that cripple people's lives and their ability to function properly in society. And they glorify it. They freaking glorify it. Like, fucking shut the fuck up. Stop doing that. Like, be better people. Right? Like, I'm not particularly religious. I don't go to church. But there's times I'm like, can we have a theocracy for a little while? Can we just teach, just go back and teach people, oh yeah, this is what morals are. This is what ethics and values are really about. It's not about all the Coomer Gloomer BS of freaky deaky stuff, right? That's no. That's how all the ancient societies fell. They fell into ruin doing all this. Why are we doing it again? Why? Oh, because they quit teaching people. That's how all those ancient societies fell into ruin, is by doing the Coomer Gloomer freaky deaky shit. By making that the thing society was about. Not being a cohesive society. The cup is being on YouTube. Man, what's that about? The grandkids always dance that little jingle. I don't know why. I don't get myself, but they think it's pretty funny. Let's see if I can watch. That was if I can watch this one yet. Nope. They're still airing today's. Let's see. See what Rattlesnake's got. See if Rattlesnake. Oh yeah, he doesn't post anything here. I don't think he does. Does he? Snake. An old debate from 3 weeks ago. Oh, sure. She's got debates here, but it doesn't put his daily stuff. That must just be on YouTube. Oh, I heard Timcast. Like. Oh my god. Timcast is. That's not the whole show. Timcast. Let's see. I wonder if he's got IRL over here yet. No, Timcast joined Rumble Premium, and all this stuff is supposed to be over here now too on Rumble. Which I don't have Rumble Premium. I'm too old and broke and disabled, and for crap like that. So I gotta watch the free stuff. Let's see what Jake the Snake has got on. Oh, that's a short. Let's see what he's got on his channel. See what he's reviewing. He is got a review on the swamp melts down over new USAID files. Fed audit coming. He posted that 3 hours ago. Yesterday's was like the scandals about the Clintons and the Gates and their money and how it is associated with USAID. Let's see, so conspiracy theory jackals like me have actually been talking about a lot of this stuff for years. Like, where's the money going? How is it? How do you think they're not, like, trillions of dollars don't just disappear? What are they doing with our money? Like, what, bro? What? Dude, all these conspiracy theory. They're using it properly. They wouldn't use our money to prop up violent terrorists and create violent terrorists in other countries to hopefully fight other violent terrorists to eliminate each other. And yes, that's what they're doing. And they're using aid money. It's called aid. Aid is not, USAID is not aid. It spells aid, but it's not foreign aid, right? They use that money to pay for people to be activists to start revolutions, right? The money is going to start, it's going to create terrorist groups to start revolutions. Or it's going straight into the pockets of American Congress people, right? Senators and congressmen and shit. And American businesses. And like almost exclusively liberal-based publications and podcasts and TV, radio, right? Like, yes, some of them went to some conservatives. It went, it was offered. It went in that direction. It just, oh my God, I finished this already. Well, for cheese and rice, I might have to jump to 10. But when this is over, we'll try 10. What am I doing? I'm looking for the map. Map. It's the map. Oh, it's been on. He's on the podcast, PBD podcast. Patrick Bet David.
By the end of the day, it will be released. Trust me, guys, you do not want to miss what is coming, and I'm going to be here for it. Glued to my screen.
Yep, people have been crying for this too. Like, and for decades, people have been saying they're using sex to blackmail. They're doing honey blackmail, like honey pot blackmail, right? They get some chick who's working for the state, or some prostitute who's like, and they pay her to drug some guy and have sex with him and take a bunch of pictures, and then they blackmail him. And our government, CIA, they have been doing this. Now, CIA is not supposed to operate within the U.S. borders. It's not supposed to be doing this to American citizens, but they have, right? And, right? They just have. And when they haven't been doing it within the borders, they've been doing it at this weird Caribbean island run by this dude, right? And this guy's girlfriend slash wife, whatever, family seems to have all these ties with the CIA and intelligence agencies in all these countries. And for like all the insiders, they knew the Hollywood insiders, the old school political guys who've been around. They knew. Don't go to that island, bros. Don't go there. Don't fly on a stupid plane. Don't go to that island. Right? No. When early on, he got people to go on his plane and stuff that didn't know. Like Trump didn't know at first. He went on like 2 flights, and after that, he's like, oh my god, this dude is, oh my god. Both flights were like 20-minute flights to a meeting and home. Never went to his island. Immediately started banning this guy from his properties because he was sexually harassing the guests and their young daughters, right? Like, his ass out? No. So he's banning this guy from properties. Oh, man, I just don't even... I'm waiting for Trump to drop all this. He said he was like, the only people who believe Trump was all in on this, that he has, are the crazies, man. Anybody paying attention knows that he was blowing the whistle on this dude for a long freaking time. But, like I said, our government uses honeypot blackmail to get control over American politicians. American politicians, right? It's been going on a long time. Why do we have all these fucked up laws, all this corruption, all this? Because people are being blackmailed. They're straight up being blackmailed. They go to a party, they get drugged, a bunch of pictures get taken of them with underage minors, right? And that's it. The career's over. If they don't, right? Or, that doesn't even have to happen in politics. All that needs to happen is somebody needs to accuse you of it, right? You just need to be accused, and you're considered guilty, right? It's court of public opinion. Come on. There should be a Gabi here under the sheet. He's not popping up for some reason. Generally, when that spider, right, that causes a goblin to spawn out of this right here. That's spawning for some reason. It's being bitchy. I want my goblin, damn it. I want my goblin. Where's my goblin? What am I doing here? Oh, killing the queen.
Now, on to the next story. I want to talk to you guys about the Consumer Financial Protection.
Jake the Snake. Jake Rattlesnake. This guy was an MMA fighter. He's from Australia. Travels around a lot. Does some debate and does more political commentary. Has a travel channel as well, the Rattlesnake Travel Channel. He's one of those guys. He's just a man about the world, traveling around doing shit.
Explicitly designed and insulated from accountability. So just to drive that home, funding comes from the Federal Reserve's earnings and not from congressional appropriations. This means that the CFPB has a separate automatic funding source, and Congress cannot control them through the typical budgeting process. By the way, guys, the Federal Reserve is not a government institution. It is a private institution. It's independent.
With a group of private banks.
News goes on to detail how much power they have over the financial sector, and also how they
they control how much the interest rate on dollars by controlling the interest rate on what they loan to each other. For the banks within the banking system, they own the Federal Reserve. They're all members of it, all these little banks. And then this private company determines what the overnight loan rates are between all their privately owned banks. Now, I know, right, private business good, but that's too much power, man. And they control all the federal dollars printed. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no way there can be any corruption there whatsoever at all. Oh, and did I mention that? Just be listening to what he's saying. Or I should pause what he's saying while I'm talking. Come back and listen to him.
There's also evidence that the CFPB has been funneling money to left-wing activist organizations and left-wing media, which I alluded to in the last video, that I think that there's something very suspicious going on with a lot of these Twitch streamers and a lot of these leftist personalities on the internet who are completely insufferable, who no normal person would want to listen to, but they get all of this money and all of these inflated views. I think that there's a scheme going on here where they don't actually get the money directly, they get the money indirectly, which allows them to say that we are a grassroots organization. We have got all of these different independent donors. We've got a few sort of big whale donors out there. When ultimately I think some of these people and organizations will actually be funded by taxpayer dollars or by the Federal Reserve, which is just wild. So Elon Musk has come out and said that the CFPB's remaining account balance of $711 million should be returned to the American taxpayer. And here's what Donald Trump had to say about the organization and also about
Ball, you have died. Come on, Terrell. You need to drop. You need to drop.
And she's a fake. Just like she said she was an Indian, and she was an Indian. You have more Indian blood in you than she has. She went to college based on the fact that she was an Indian. She got jobs
No
based on the fact that
bracers.
she was an Indian. She's a fake.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. There's only three things that can drop out of this chest, right? The bracers, the monarch scepter, and the fucking ring. Like, oh, yeah, see, same with the bracers, non-monarch scepter, and the ring.
She's a nasty woman. She's a really nasty woman. Despite her phony beauty commercial. Now, that was a very important thing to get rid of. It was also a waste. I mean, number one, it was a bad group of people running it, but it was also a waste. If you looked at when she really ran it, wow, that was a vicious group of people. They really just destroyed a lot of people.
You confirm it's your goal is to have it totally eliminated?
Yeah, cultists.
We're trying to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Now, it's very funny, actually, when you think about how much Pocahontas' views on this have evolved over time.
I was talking to someone who spent many years as a prosecutor, and he said, you know, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, well, I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it at all. What the government didn't do is it didn't turn around and say, you lost how much money, and you wiped out how many pensions, and you wiped out how many jobs.
Nope, they said too big to fail.
Whether or not any laws were violated.
Yeah, I
The
personally,
gaps are in the system that would permit this to happen.
I think
I want to hold somebody responsible. Responsibility is not just
from about the time Reagan was in office,
responsibility
at
is about
least,
making sure
until very recently,
will not
the
happen.
Democrat Party and the Republican Party are the same party. They're all, both parties, all those politicians go back, they've been there for 10, 20, 30 years, all those politicians, all those guys, they're all in bed together. It's the same group of guys using the same shit to scam the American people and scam the stock market and scam the investment market and scam the real estate market. And they all need to go. They just need to go. Just fucking fire them all. Unelect every freaking one of them. And get somebody in there who's like, yeah, no. If you ask me what the federal government should do, my answer is no. But no, they shouldn't do shit. Right? We just gotta and go in and gut all the regulations. All these, because, I mean, the U.S. tax code when it first started was like 4 lines. It's like millions of lines long now, right? Like, if you're an average American who doesn't own a business, you can claim like 7 things on your income tax legally, like kids, head of household, work clothes, and shit like that. Like 7 things. If you own a business, and you're using all the stuff, you can claim like 70 different things. So yes, the tax code is set up so you make more money by owning a business. Having said that, the regulatory bureaucracy is set up to crush small businesses in favor of unions and large corporations. So all that stuff needs to be just thrown in the dumpster and lit on freaking fire. The entire idea is that you go to school and you learn enough to become an apprentice at whatever it is you want to go do. Like, if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, yes, maybe you should go to college. If you're going to be in the STEM scientific fields, yeah, maybe you should go to college. But if you're a bright person and you have a talent for whatever it is you're looking at in the STEM fields or mechanics or engineering, you should be able to go from high school into an apprenticeship that teaches you can. So instead of paying somebody $600,000 or $700,000 to give you an education, which 60% of it is fucking garbage you don't need, you just go and work in that field. You go to work, you start learning, you start moving up, and then at some point you start your own business in that field. You don't work for somebody. You're not supposed to work for somebody your whole life. That's incomprehensibly silly. Anyway, that's my rant. That was my every once in a while rant. Because I'm mad I didn't get a ring ranter again. Let's see. We should be looking into it and preventing these problems rather than. Oh yeah, the housing bubble was created by the government. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae or whatever, they were government lenders who lended money to people for houses that they could never pay back. That they lended them huge home loans for houses they just couldn't afford. And then when they all set right, and so obviously all these houses, so there's a squeeze on the market to build more houses because all these houses are being bought up. But then 5-10 years later, they're all getting repossessed, which then create a surplus of houses, which crashed the market. That was government. The government done that to you, to me, to us on purpose. They like only a complete moron would not see that was what was going to happen. Like, so that means they're either incredibly inept or they've done it on purpose. Anyway, it just means it just makes so much sense. Let's try this. This just go to 10. Probably just could get worked. It's gonna get stopped on it. Yes, we'll start here. It was 700 billion. It's sort of like what they do after emergency, like 9/11. We need a Patriot Act. If you don't vote for the Patriot Act, you're not patriotic. Okay, so we're on one of these that should. If I beat this, that should decrease the greater rift item.
funds were
Do
passed, 700 billion. There's still a bunch of it floating around, but all of a sudden, so there's funds
it's
going
like
into
4
the
or
hands
5
of
per. Yeah, I'm probably
unsavory
no.
characters
Too big.
like people
Too
who work for
big.
companies, and they end up
Too big.
hundreds of millions,
Resurrecting
billions of
town.
dollars in bonuses coming from the American taxpayer.
Wait, at least it didn't cost me a key or nothing. It didn't cost me anything.
Message out to Congress. We want
A
to know
stack of
exactly,
gold
we
to
want
repair.
transparency. Let's find out what's
Let's
happening. But then it became known
8.
to so
We
many
were
people
on
at
what,
grassroots level.
6?
The Federal Reserve is
So we'll
very
try
much
8.
involved. They don't quite understand how the Federal Reserve created our problems, but they understand how the Federal Reserve has been very much involved. So though I
Well,
have a different motivation for transparency,
Federal, like I said,
overall,
the
because
Federal
monetary
Reserve
system
controls.
what's been going on for years. Right
They
now,
try to control the
motivation
inflationary
is to
rate
know what
by
kind of
controlling how much
Federal Reserve
they
is up to,
charge each other to
and
lend
wheeling
money
and
to
dealing
each other on
dealing on
on the overnight loan
Congress
rates. That
deals in
oh
hundreds of millions
Jesus,
of dollars.
yep, you're gonna have to go
Reserve
back to
deals in
6. I think.
trillions.
Yep,
And
Jesus,
we don't know exactly how much
Jesus.
guarantees and direct loans that they have made and promised. It's estimated to be $3 or $4 trillion in the past year. But we don't know exactly.
Bogus.
So the real necessity is for us to find out, and then we deal with the.
All right,
I'm
so
excited about the interest going on. People talking.
oh, ring of grandeur,
I think, at
won't
times,
you be a friend of mine?
I've always
Drop after I do this run,
over expectation. We're saying, boy,
so I can get a 4-piece bonus on this build. Go to Act 10,
be surprised that
T10.
much better than I said. And in a way, the attention
Yeah, I'm just like I'm getting screwed by the fact that ring has not dropped yet.
surprises.
Just getting screwed.
Why didn't they do it a long time ago? Why did we ever get the Federal Reserve? So anyway, I'm still excited about
Kind of need the orb of infinite depth in the
I think everything comes from the people. There's
in the cube as well,
you know, the
so I can
ideas
get like
never stop.
40% damage increase
Prevailing attitude. You know,
and a whole bunch of damage reduction.
long time, and
And then I could probably, well, I'll probably still leave the shield on for a while, anyways.
significance and the importance
Probably get my unlimited teleport. Keep that storm shield. It thumps dudes. It helps. It helps. It does. It do. It do. It help. It help. It do. But anyways, so the way the federal government and the Federal Reserve print money, right? So they're like, okay, we need money. We need how are we going to do this? So is what they do is they sell the debt. They say, they're like, okay, the U.S. needs to print $5 billion for the budget next year. So they'll take that $5 billion and they'll put it on the market. And they will sell that $5 billion as bonds by a treasury bond. And you have that treasury bond for 10 years. And at the end of 10 years, the federal government pays that back with 10% interest. Pretty good. Sounds like a good deal. But so if the federal government never borrows more than what it can pay back in 10 years, there is still a 1% inflationary pressure on your money per year. Because at the end of that 10 years, they pay that back at 10% interest. Right? So your money will consistently lose, no matter what, 1% of its value every year. So at the end of 10 years, you're out 10%, right? So, Federal Reserve is over 100 years old now. So having said that, just at the regular depreciatory factor of the interest of 10%, it's like your money is devalued 100%. Your dollar is now only isn't worth $1. Right? It takes $2 to make $1 now. Just because of that. Just because of that. Right? Now, having said that, the government is way, way overspending what it earns in a year from us by taking our money. So that creates even more inflation. So we're at stupid amount of inflation for the most part, constantly, except for Trump's 4 years and what's going to come up now, right? We've been down 3-4%, but generally it's stupid high. They don't even tell you how high it really is because they do things like not include the price of things poor people buy, the price of a used car, the price of housing, the price of groceries. They do not include the increase in that to inflation, right? So, and all that ties in because when you, is what happens a lot is they will put a huge tax on oil or reduce the production to save the environment. And so the price of oil shoots through the roof. Well, oil is the main source of energy we use. Period. It's the main source of energy we use. So, when you look at a business has three expenses: the price of the materials to make the widgets they're making, the price of energy, and the price of labor. If you artificially increase any one of those three things, they're going to have to add that to the price of the product. Period. So, and people wonder why a 5-cent piece of bubble gum costs $1 now. Right? Why we don't have penny candies anymore. Right? It's 50 cents for a penny candy. That's why. That's why we've been doing this stupid shit for decades. Fucking decades. Anyways, what's our next video to listen to? And then we'll try and get our ring of grandeur. Get the freaking ring of freaking grandeur. Jay Dyer. Pearl. Oh, Warren. Let's see. IRL. Oh, the utensil. The freaking utensil. Let's see what the freaking utensil's got to say today.
Relaxing mobile.
I haven't listened to him in a while. He might have a couple of things. The aristocratic utensil. And again, this is content that's free view on the internet, so I have free use to listen to it while I'm doing this. All right, from Burn to Kings, from Bernie Bro to Absolute Monarchist. Oh, here we go. Anna Kasparian versus Emma Vigeland. I love leftist infighting. Now this guy, the spoon, the utensil guy, the aristocratic, the spoon dude, he's a monarchist. He believes we should roll back the Constitution and create a monarchy again. Because even though, right, we have a constitutional republic, it's set up as such that there's so much democracy in it that it can't function. Because democracy is weak and gay and has always failed. Like, just go, find a democracy, a pure democracy that didn't turn into a totalitarian fuck-nut place, right? They don't exist. It always says. It's just like the Greeks, all the great philosophers, our founding fathers of our country, the constitutionalists that created our country, all believed the word democracy was a slur. It was a slur. Not good, very bad. Right? Oh, our democracy is, they're tearing apart our democracy. Good. Democracy bad. Democracy does not work. Democracy is ruled by a mob, where you convince 51% of the people that the other 49% needs to be crucified. That's how democracies work. That's what happens. Like, all you have to do is look at council culture to see it's real. So that's pretty. Anyways, am I a monarchist? Not particularly. I think we can shore up our republic with enough. Like, we have to limit who gets to vote. I hate saying that. But we kind of need to limit who gets to vote. Right? Because otherwise it's too crazy. There's too much chaos in the system. We have to limit some of that chaos in the system. Anyways, let's see what Homeboy's got to say after this stupid commercial. All right. And then let's go to our next place. We're almost at 2 hours here anyways. It's only 10 o'clock, so I'll probably just take a short break, hit the head, snack on something, go again, try and get the stupid ring of freaking grandeur. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 things, 3 legendaries to drop from the bounty cache in Act 1 at this level, and one of them is the ring of grandeur. What, like I have RN bad, just RN bad. Not a number bad.
Essentially, gay race communism.
Okay. Don't ask me why I thought that was so funny. I just it's fucking funny. Oh, Jesus.
In this rigid military-like hierarchical fashion with a difference to power, whereas the right talks of elitism and hierarchy, but the principles they try to uphold are democratic and equal rights, aka left-wing politics. This is why the mainstream quote-unquote right wing is an abomination. The left understands this very well. Just always said that politics is not downstream from culture, culture is downstream from power. However, just because you have the tools and materials, mean what you construct is stricken with cerebral palsy, all the functionality of a broken pint of arse. Uncle Mussolini was in fact right. No revolution can change the nature of man. Take, for example, the existence of the Skittle Squad. As I said before, this particular faction, and I'm being very generous with my language here, serves no functional purpose for improving one's civilization. Were one to remove them, nothing of substance would be lost whatsoever. They exist purely as a mechanism by which the plebs converge a signal indicating support for the regime, and that's it. By the way, the fact that their support base is disproportionately those who are missing a Y chromosome, I would take that as a firm indication that those of the ovarian variety have absolutely no business being in politics whatsoever. All hail the great Lady Vicky. That reminds me of something that Scrum said a while ago, that the left have largely won. The worldview has been created, and yet it's made them miserable and completely insane. Quite literally, actually, being left-wing exponentially increases your chances of mental illness. It's not remotely surprising because, again, the arch nemesis of leftism is reality.
Yep. That's what happens. Like, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. One definition of insanity. Another pretty good one is complete denial of reality, ignoring the laws of thought and logic.
But having spoken to many Americans and observing their behavior, if the average American hasn't the faintest idea how the government works, especially considering recent events, I mean how it's theorized to work, how it's supposed to work. No, I mean how it actually works. Forget checks and balances and all that nonsense. Look at voter turnout. The general election is the only election Americans give a flying damn about. Most Americans are blissfully unaware of who the closest representatives even are.
Yep.
But don't know who's in the White House.
Who's on your city council? Who's your representative? I'm bad. I don't know. I know. I'm starting to think that whatever I'm walking towards, okay. Desecrated the nation through an onslaught of dysfunctional executive orders, laying the groundwork for the dawn to come in and do the exact same thing. When the previous fossilized puppet enacted an orgy of executive orders, the leftist wankers didn't say a word. But when Trump does it, oh, we're upset now. Here is swine. Oh, boo, freaking who, cry more. The Democrats, surprisingly, have learned absolutely nothing and continue to desperately shriek the same tired-ass slogans of the last 10 bloody years. And the people who cling to the state as their Lord and Savior are seeing their unholy temple being decimated
bunch of people in complete disarray, suffering an identity crisis and contemplating the purpose of their very existence, which naturally, of course, I find very amusing. Leading to interesting headlines like this coming from the New York Times, which is the first time anyone has said that out loud ever. We have no clear message. Democrats struggle to oppose Trump. More than 50 interviews with Democratic leaders revealed the party struggling to decide what it believes in, what issues to prioritize, and how to confront
That's clear. That is what I'm running towards.
I was under the impression
Not what I
that
need.
democracy is supposed to be the
Following the wrong
and
little yellow arrow
secret of democracy.
again.
It was always a farce. The people never had a say. It was always top down, like every other civilization since the dawn of mankind. Except the farcical machinations of the leftist machinery do in fact have some limits, and they're now visibly rejected as a slew of Trump-fueled executive actions are like the hand that found to lose the thread, proceeding to pull it in sixth gear, resulting in the old machinery being completely caught off guard on the back foot and left scrambling. Which leads me to our amusement here, because the left, naturally being a pack of cultists and failing to acknowledge any wrongdoing or self-reflection whatsoever, being smart, stupid, and the highest caliber of undeserved egos, are eating each other alive, and it's just a joy to say.
I know that Francesco Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this, as if Donald Trump is unique. He's novel compared to past presidents. Certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before.
Kind of evil.
This is
Yeah, let's
that she was warning about.
too many regulations to kill business. Let's pull some in the back and let's put control of our government back into the people who elect us in the office. Oh my God, you evil fascist!
Leading it totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that.
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay.
Yeah,
But continue. Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't mean to.
But she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing?
Okay.
She's not attacking TYT. But anyway, continue, Jared.
Yeah. All right. I'll be honest. And when she's right and has that chip on her shoulder, it is rather satisfying to watch. If only because she only ever targets her own, seeing as she doesn't have the balls or merit to attack the right, at least not objectively anyway. You know, it's getting rough when even Anna is so much
Queen
Trump. She's 100% right on Francesca, by the way. She was on Piers Morgan some weeks back, and man, the comment section was ruthlessly brutal. Justifiably so, because my word, she is denser than a block of cement. She's one of those who would actively advise not to speak because she makes misogyny seem rational. It is someone with a similar vein of reaction who no doubt make use of a thesaurus for this post. Emma of England. But I love the performative piousness of polymarket populists. Doesn't make any sense here. Coming for ally and movement partner because she posed Jenks' own words coming from his mouth. Go back to your roots ranking celebrity camel toes, get your clicks that way. As the rest of us oppose fascism, yes, opposing fascism, wanting the right to bear arms, free speech, smaller government, and properly functioning nation-state borders. Naturally, of course, the hallmarks of fascism. Fucking idiot. By the way, Emma is so thick, last month she revealed she didn't know nicotine was the addictive component in cigarettes. You think I'm kidding? What's that?
His in stuff looks gross.
It's
That was
just,
an improvement on.
it's just nicotine, right? Those in ones? What's the point? You get high from nicotine?
Yes.
I thought you get high from
They don't know. Look at you now. Oh my dear Jesus.
nicotine. Neither.
That's what it is. It's nicotine.
Right.
The tobacco addicted to it.
Right. That's the stuff, that's the stimulating part of it?
Jesus Christ.
Nicotine is a stimulant.
Right, I know. Okay. But then what's the point of just having the... Okay.
You're just having the stimulant.
Nicotine is the stimulating part of tobacco?
God in heaven.
Yeah. Can you imagine having a discussion on anything of any depth with somebody that obtuse? Yes, fucking dear Jesus. I mean, I might have some issues getting the things in my brain out of my mouth in a relatively sounding fashion. Like I know what I'm saying. Like I have a wider than four-word vocabulary, which I don't. Don't let anyone feel I don't. I am the thick-tongued, thick-legged, thick-skulled, cross-eyed unibrow invertebrate that you dream I am.
understand what it's like to
Ah,
been overrun with criminal
Microsphere.
policies she preaches in the name of gaining social capital. Never mind the irony of
So,
that, doing the same thing. Moving on. Frank
rock
actually
good.
wanted Cenk, even though he was kind enough to waste his time going on her show in the name of openness and understanding, since what few people ever do that ever. I knew he was making a mistake. These people aren't interested in building any coalition.
No, they're not.
Understanding anything.
They want
They
control
don't
and
give a shit
control.
about winning policy goals. Again, fairness, and neither do you, but anyway. Literally, the worst thing Cenk ever did was open up the company to these people. They came in, leashed off what he built, and terminated him for cloud the first second they could. Again, Cenk has pretty much done the same thing, being the plain-strong seller that he is. Also, tell me, Emma, since taking a sponsor
Oh, green thing.
you and the four-person company you work for, nice to see there. How many
Pantaloons.
of the dozens of employees at TOT should
Oh,
Cenk lay
no,
off?
I think
Is
those
your
may
judgment
be
allowed? Tell us. I'm going to assume
Firebirds.
that's the truth, only because it's funny that way. But lo and behold, what a surprise.
But I still need a
More than a trust
Ranger, or at least my captains,
I feel violated just
at least
seeing
my
that.
guilds.
Naturally, like everyone of the champagne socialists, ill can afford the luxury of babbling on advocating for the things that
But whenever I get a ring of Ranger, things will be really,
desperate
really
attempt to cope
good.
with the fact her life is empty and has no meaning because she stands for and will accomplish nothing. What a surprise, she's a walking cliche. Now, Anna, what else did you have to say?
Guys, if
I don't know if I belong here anymore. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real, Cenk. I don't know if I belong anymore. I don't. Because people want propaganda. They do. They want propaganda.
But our
And I don't want to do propaganda.
like,
Shoulder pads. Oh, I guess I lied. I guess there's 4 things.
No, don't get it.
One is a ring, a specific ring.
people say,
It is what it is. It is what it is. Like,
The ring of Gaga.
I just want to be
Gagaranda.
accurate, and I was totally deranged during Trump's first term. But I bought into the fear mongering, and I unwittingly repeated inaccurate bullshit. And I have a lot of issues, like
what, Anna?
dealing with the guilt of that. I didn't do it on purpose. It was something that I was engaging in without even realizing it.
See if we
I
can get a
myself
decent
was
story.
propagandized by the fear mongers. And the reason why I feel guilt is because I was giving my audience inaccurate information, and it's still
Oh,
here in
that is a
my audience, okay?
that's
I don't want to make those
very
same
helpful
mistakes. I
ring.
want to be as
Very,
accurate
very
as I
helpful.
possibly can. I'm sure
By the way,
I make
convention of
mistakes,
elements
even
always comes with a
this
socket,
new
right?
frame of mind.
Gain
But that's something
173,
that
it's
makes
usually
sense,
up to
okay? I'm not
200.
interested in being a little
Increased
propagandist
damage
because
every
I think
4
both
seconds. Da, da,
parties
da.
are
So
garbage.
every
I
4
think
seconds
we
out of
have
16
totally
seconds,
failed the American people. And
fire
let's
damage
stop
is
pretending
lit.
like
Right?
Democrats
And
are
you want to
somehow
get
better
one
than
that's
the Republican
crit
Party. They're not.
intelligence
Don't become
or
everything you want. Just please don't. Please don't.
area
Democrats
damage.
aren't worth it. They're not worth it.
No.
Right, so this has got 1 crit on it. I can roll the other crit. See this, and this is one of the cool things actually about a ring of Ranger. It almost always comes with at least 1 crit. Right. See if we can roll off this vitality for our other crit. Let's see, we don't not get any fire damage or anything on it, but you can get cooldown reduction, resource reduction, area damage, attack speed, right? And I usually just go with crit int, right? It always comes with a socket, so we just need to roll one thing off our other crit. See if we can get it. Sometimes RNG good, sometimes RNG bad. Bad. Oh, I didn't have enough. But okay, so let's get rid of this yellow thing, this yellow piece of shit. I haven't swapped it out yet. See what's best in this slot. We put our
your entire worldview is nothing but propaganda. And it's delirious propaganda at that. Now, as I said before, I consider myself a propagandist. Propaganda is nothing more than information steering your thinking.
That would kind of be okay in the queue, but I think I've got my shield 100% right now, so that can go in the fire. This goes in the stash along with my gems.
They're just pretentious. The reality is, information in this sphere without context is meaningless. It's like code without an operating system. It needs that application. Everything these commentators view as good or bad depends on their fairy tale idealism, or what they've been paid to advocate for, or the cold-hearted realism.
Lightning damage, arcane.
Kid who believes
needs an army of bureaucrats.
Cold
And I'm afraid
damage.
suggest this apparatus is unholy waste
Fire
of
damage.
nation, and it needs to be eroded. And your reaction to that is to shriek like a drunken banshee because you believe the sky
Yeah,
is falling.
16
You're
seconds.
idiotic
For
leftist.
4 seconds,
If,
every
however,
16
you
seconds,
recognize
you're
an
firing
operation
damage.
and wish
Just
to drive
kick
a
butt.
federal tank through it,
Right?
the
It's
thought of
kick
this
butt.
gives you hard enough to knock the nails into the wall. You're probably
But
a man of
that
the
doesn't matter if you don't have like
Please
fire
don't
damage on
nonsense
this, fire damage on your
absolutely
necklace,
She's not gonna
fire
teach
damage
you
on your
She's not gonna
offhand.
delusional nihilism. That would require self-reflection
I think-
and an admittance of wrongdoing and actually changing
No,
in some substantive
that's
manner.
pretty hit chance on
She's never
this.
going to do any
So
of
it's
that.
your
She
necklace,
doesn't have the singular fortitude of such a
your
thing.
necklace,
She's going to sit there
your
forever and
bracers,
propaganda. I saw, did you see
and
the
your
clip? I was
offhand
looking
will
for the
all
other
have
video.
fire damage
You
on
see
it.
the clip of Vanna?
If you just do the normal build, now like the farm build, I'll usually like have.
That's my position.
Yeah? What time is it?
You know
It's
why?
not lunchtime yet. We've got another at least an hour before lunchtime.
Full-blown fucking propaganda against Darren Beatty, who's one of the good ones. And so, fuck you. Your pivot is bullshit. You're only doing what's necessary. If your life was not inconvenienced, you would be doing the same shit you've always been doing.
Oh, somebody's
give me a break
ripping her.
with this bullshit. My sentiments exactly. Cheers for watching once again. I apologize for nothing.
Alright, what do we got for gallows? Oh. 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 Bah. Bah. Bro. Oh, yeah. Give me an elite. Elite choice. Oh, there's elites. Come here, elito. Elite, elito, elito, elito. Come here. Bye for me. Ha ha ha. Oh, and then they didn't drop. What? What the frick is this? What? What? Oh, at least there's good monster density. I don't believe elites. And they know Drapo. Yes, they know Drapo, Deatho, Breatho. What the frick was that? What the frick was that? Oh. I missed half of what Spoon was saying, but whatever. Whatever. I'll listen to it again sometime. A lot of these views, like, just kind of get repeated from content creator to content creator. So it's not like the stuff is.
Absolutely no reason other than it's incredibly stupid as hell. Therefore, we should market for our amusement. It features a black woman. And the fact that every single one of you watching this
There's
video
two.
already knows where this is going
I think I need 5 to
to
extract.
really tell us all something. But anyway, let's crack on.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't. And I know less guys. And you know that. Let me just tell you about me. I'm not
Please demonstrate that.
I'm not talking
Please
about
demonstrate that.
Look at this.
Don't just
You see this
make
flame
the
right here?
assertion.
This is America in a nutshell, folks. A calm, patient, well-spoken gentleman of European ethnicity. And next to him, his polar opposite in every conceivable manner. By the way, that bloke there, Scott Jennings, how on earth does he have a job at CNN? Or rather, how does everyone else around him have one?
Yeah, well,
You know,
CNN,
Fox News, they would have a panel, and there would
after
be one
getting
person.
wrecked
Usually it was Geraldo Rivera or
in
whoever, who's supposed to be
viewing ratings
left-leaning
for their extreme left-leaning, right? People just go watch it. They had to bring on some right-wing people who were actually factually freaking right-wing. They're conservative, or, you know, understand the laws of logic, because they lost their entire viewership.
Fire all of your DEI hires and give Jennings his own show. It'd be great. He could be the Tucker Carlson of CNN.
I'm not terribly familiar with CNN stuff, and I don't think most people even are. I think the only other person I would be left standing is Wolf Blitzer, and I think he's in his late 70s.
Yeah, Wolf ain't gonna be around much longer.
Your top so-called talent is right within the adults of Congress.
I feel me, a black woman in this country.
I'm black in this city.
And I will run, if you want
I'm a New Yorker.
I will run the
Do not say that.
I
You can't say
will,
that in this city. I have a
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually I got one degree, a bachelor's and two bachelors. I have more education than all y'all added up together on this table, right? And I have always
Oh, and then right here she lies about how much money she's making.
payroll at every institution I have worked in. And
That's a
it's not
lie.
the White House.
That's been proven. Like this went up on Twitter and got community notes.
I don't think you work for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there?
That doesn't make your argument.
I'm a firm
That makes the other guy's argument.
believer for one's
And she's supposed to be arguing. She's supposed to be helping Jennings. She's supposed to be helping Jennings in this.
That being said, when you look at
Supposed
this,
to be on his side.
minimization of so many stereotypes, do any of you see this beyond merely a walking caricature? Because I sure as hell don't. I look at this and think, my wit, this is such a colossal mountain of idiocy, I don't even know where to start. It does remind me of one of Mencken's quotes. It is the classic fantasy of our time that a moron runs for university and decorated with a PhD will thereby cease to be a moron. How is it that's not the appropriate quote to use for this very occasion?
Like I know I'm stupid. I know my brain doesn't work right. I know I like overstimulate with social media and digital content every day and play way too many video games. Like I know. Like when you call me dumb, you're not telling me nothing I don't fucking know.
The question on the payroll
Right?
claim, though,
Did not graduate high school, got a GED.
she's all the worst qualities
Yeah,
of
we
a
did go to college for a couple semesters.
tradition of
One semester, and at the end of that semester, I went to the job corps and looked at the 2 degrees I was getting. Right? One in communications, one in business. I wanted to be like, an office techie guy, right? Help people get their PCs running right. Up to them. So, pause this guy while I'm talking. Because that's rude. I mean, I need it in the background, but I also, since I'm talking to you guys, I should let's learn how to pause a fucking video for the least. I was like, I was going to be an IT guy, right? Just general office IT guy. And I was getting a communications degree because I understood. I understood. I'm not very good at communicating with people on a one-to-one basis, right? I'm an asshole. I just no, that's fucking stupid. You can't just tell people, no, that's fucking stupid. They get all fucking buttered. They just go what? When did people get to be these fucking fancy bitches? No, dude, that's wrong. It doesn't work like that. That's fucking stupid. Wow. Like, when did that happen? I was born in 1969, and I heard those words constantly. Anybody who was around older cousins, no, dude, that's not how that works. That's fucking stupid. Shut up. This is how this works. Now people freak out when they hear it. But anyways, I realized that the amount of money I can make with 6 years of college and 2 different degrees was less than I was currently making or had been making swinging a hammer, being in construction. Oh, God, I thought that was the dead end up there. Right? That was it was less money to start, right? And then, as I looked down the road, right, it was still less. Right? What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's right. You go through that. I forgot what it's brain. See, I'm broken. I'm so fucking stupid. That's the portal to the next floor, Paul. That's how that works. Oh, you're right. But it was less money. Because in carpentry, eventually, you should start your own business. Businesses. I mean, even if you're just small, if you only, have a few projects a year, some remodels, this, that, it's pretty good money. And it's way less people on you about your language and your dress and your, general modes of diction. People are real. people aren't real in an office building, and what's in HR and all that. That's not how people really communicate and how they really get along. Right? There's a lot of yes, this is how you should talk to people, and this is proper, and this is, but that's not really real, is it? That's not how we function. And I just like I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm too broken. I'm like no, no, I'm not gonna tell somebody no. If you leave somebody saying and doing something really stupid, how are they gonna learn it's stupid if you don't tell them it's fucking stupid? How will like they will just get you? I think that is like way more mean, way more just vicious and conniving and manipulative than saying, "Yeah, no, bro, that's not stupid. This is how this works. Let me explain to you, how things work." Right? That's how society should function. That's how you create smarter people. That's how you create a more cohesive culture in society. Not by letting people believe dumb shit. You just don't. That's not the way it works. Which is kind of part of the reason why I listen to a lot of stuff. Back in the day when I was younger, we didn't have a lot of video like this. We had books, right? So, like, our video games were a lot simpler. Atari's, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, stuff like that. TurboGrafx 16. They were cool, but they weren't this, right? They weren't nearly as good. Way less time consuming. I mean, they were harder. They were definitely way freaking harder to beat a game. But, yeah. See what did I get any? Not a single one. But that's okay, because this is why I done that. There we go. Each time you hit an enemy with explosive blast, your damage is increased by 10%, and your damage reduction is increased by 20% for 6 seconds. Oh. This effect can stack up to 4 times. So it's 40% damage and 80% damage reduction. Right? No. What was that one thing on this one kit over here? What was that? Damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction. Damage taken is reduced by your percentage of cost reduction. Oh, so that's not on that, but it stacks with my damage reduction. And damn it, I thought in my brain for a second I thought that the two I was like, oh wait a minute. Nope, I was wrong. I was way fucking wrong. Did I pick everything up that hit the ground from? I had to have. Rift closing. Bruh. No? What the fuck? Did I pick all that stuff up? No. I don't know. I was talking. Maybe I didn't pick everything up. Because I was so happy I was going to come do this. I was just like, yay! Anyways, back to the spoon. Back to this bridge dude.
You have more education than them combined. And you also worked in the White House as you're sitting on CNN. What opportunities are you missing exactly, you privileged entitled git? How do you boast about being better than everyone, yet also claim victimhood status? I just realized she reminds me of Brenda from a Scary Movie.
It's Schrodinger's feminist, right? They are equally boss babe and equally oppressed at the same time all the time. And it only becomes clear which one they are at the moment when something happens to them. And whatever that thing is, that either empowers them or it oppresses them. Right? They can't just be like, oh yeah, that's just life. So, continue. Let's see if we get our ring now. That's all we really need. Just need our ring, bro. Just need a stupid freaking Okay, back to the dispute.
The appeal to credentialism is hilarious, especially considering one of the articles that Lauren Southern used a while back while she was trying to extol the virtues of education, which clearly she didn't read. However, I, being a man, I naturally did, revealed that the most helpful trait in getting through the university apparatus is not intelligence, but rather obedience.
Yep.
Which is frankly astonishing to me, considering obedience is...
Don't ask questions. If you want to make it in college, don't ask questions.
Here's a newsflash for you. You'll think and acknowledge this. To solve that riddle. At the very end there, when the guy asks, well, whose fault is that? A very valid question, which anyone watching can answer in under 30 seconds. Then we'll learn to say, well, guess what wasn't happening when I was there, DEI. And that's not the way you were told you think it is, genius. In fact, it proves its implication. The problem being you. If you were a DEI hire, one could make the claim you were hired based on that. But seeing as you stated it wasn't there, what exactly were you hired on? Merit?
Oops, I haven't started my
More likely, we're going to go with the
team
predecessor,
spells.
affirmative
There we
action,
go.
which
This
is
should
like
do
ourselves is just DEI
a bit
without
more.
steroids. And seeing as that is likely the case, the academic credentials required to furnish you with qualifications was lower, which means you'd be less valuable than someone who did not obtain academic credentials through affirmative action, resulting in you being paid less. Mystery solved, and I didn't need a master's for that. I have 3 other qualifications of my own: wine, white, and wisdom. And failing that, we've always got wicked wits and whiskey.
White,
Just
white,
once again, I
wisdom.
apologize for nothing.
You have to go up. I should have went up. Should have went up. The borough by. Oh yeah. Where's he? He's over here. There he is. Borough by the borough. No, I don't want to go see your dead wife in the rocket chair, bro. I just don't want to see the dude in the rocket chair. Oh, Grid 1's got a new one. Oh, here we go. Warren. Let's go to Warren's channel for a minute. Warren Smith, Secret Scholar Society. He's good. He's all right. I mean, he was a teacher. He went to college. He was a teacher. His main gig was teaching audio video editing and stuff, and spent most of his career at a school for children with behavioral issues, the violent kids, the mean kids, right? So, and he's kind of mellow and slow about his talking, and he's still a bright guy, but like he didn't really start to apply logic and reason to his daily life and how things work until Jordan Peterson hit the scene. So Jordan Peterson was his main wow, see, this is why I'm not an orator or a talker or a debater. Like, I forget basically the guy who inspired, his main inspiration. But he's still pretty good. He's getting there. I mean,
Respect is an electrifying tribute, celebrating the music.
Oh, shut up! I hate no.
Adam Carolla is Gavin Newsom's
How does
worst
that?
nightmare. And in 2013, Gavin Newsom sat down.
Oh yeah, this is a little bit old, but it's good.
No, you want to deal with reality. I want to deal with reality.
That someone sent me this clip the other day saying you should take a look at this. And this exchange is remarkable.
Think about it.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff he covers is a little bit older.
Half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM. Things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account. What's wrong with them?
Well, there has to be an
It's still
underlying
pretty good
reason.
content.
If 50%.
But anyways, he's a guy who,
Don't have access to a checking
as part of his,
Why?
as part of his audio video course, right? They shot pretend news stories, pretend interviews, pretend this, that. And one of the things, he was sitting down as an interviewer to be interviewed, as an interviewee being interviewed by a host or whatever. And the kid, the student running the camera, was to be the host. And so, and they could ask him, his opinion on whether or not J.K. Rowling was a racist, evil, transphobe, whatever was going on at the time. It's like, well, that's serious. Let's look at this discussion this time. Where does the idea of this come from, right? And they just broke it down logically, and it they came quite quickly to the conclusion that it was silly to call her a racist or a TERF or whatever it was, right? That what was being said was propaganda. Got to it quite quickly. And the clip, his student loaded up the clip like they always do for other students to watch, and then that then got loaded onto the internet and spread like freaking wildfire, and he got fired for it. He got straight fired. It's almost time, I suppose we could. All right. So cute. Let me finish these last two things. And then he went and done an interview about the clip with Tucker. And because he didn't tell the people where he worked, his personal business, that he was going to go, that they didn't clear him doing an interview through the school. They fired him. And they're the type of school, right? I said it was for school for troubled kids, so you don't just go do interview, that's kind of part of the thing. But still, this was not him giving an interview about school operation. It wasn't him giving an interview about the behavior of the children or anything, right? It was an interview about a clip with him in it and the things he said in it, right? Got fired. And the whole thing kind of went wild for a while. And he does use content, and he's still, kind of what he's doing to make ends meet. So, good guys. So go follow him on the internet, on YouTube, get on the interwebs and follow him. Good, he will follow on interwebs. But YouTube, and I'm sure he's got on his channel the links in the description, right? To his social medias, but it's it's Warren Smith, the Secret Scholar Society, right? And I think that's a shot at cancel culture, and just the name itself is a shot at cancel culture and censorship, right? That if you're a scholar and you want to talk about scholarly things in an unedited fashion, uncensored fashion, you have to do so secretly. Right? That's not cool. No, man, that's wrong. That's just not cool. That's bad. How is that? That can't be good. So, but yes, let's get these finished up. Anyways, let's finish listening to his review of this.
Because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but
A lot of different reasons. Can we get specific?
but roughly half those families don't. Where they
Why
end
do
up,
Armenians have them?
but where they end up is
Why-
the check cashing places.
But I want to know
these
why
payday
those
lenders
groups,
taking
why
them.
those two groups don't have
Well,
access.
and a lot of
He's calling out the group think here. This is the perfect example of group think. Making an observation on an entire group of people, which I think you can make a case is racists.
it just happens to be that we can
So
talk
they're
about.
flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're strong.
Genetically
Making
flawed.
that word hardly, not absolutely.
But, okay, so
By thinking about it in that way, are you suggesting that it's a genetic predisposition that prevents them from having access to a checking account, which of course is nonsensical.
do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have, a lot of whites have these problems.
Oh,
But I
so
just,
it's not just black and Hispanic.
no, but
Why do you bring up black and Hispanic?
because the magnitude is ominous.
Points out another minority in America. Gav's not making the claim about them. So why the discrepancy?
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be
Just that's the way God planned it.
not at all.
Therefore, there is something that's occurring.
Pointing out that it's a result of your governmental structure.
Of choices being made, and trying to narrow down what those choices are.
What's
happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and that the communities are struggling. A lot of
Why are they struggling?
Why? A lot of different reasons.
Again, a lot of different reasons. The second time he said that.
Hispanics have been here. Blacks have been here longer than we've been here.
Well, we can surmise.
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah, we in fact all initiated.
Yeah, in California and in Montana.
Chef Cats, are they the chef
A lot of Asians certainly do.
So why don't you because
Given that obstacle of the past, why are we not seeing this pattern amongst this group? I think the real point is that you can't view it through the lens of group identity.
The only reason why is the magnitude.
there's so many more.
That says nothing about.
Well, I'm about to ask why. Why are there so many more?
The magnitude and percentage.
But there's no way to figure out how that happened.
Africa. We could talk about it. You know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological.
Sure, why would you?
Yeah, I bet you don't. Because you can't do it. Because that would require actually discussing honestly things that are actually playing a role into this issue.
Yeah, no.
Here's
Why would you want to do that? Because first from the Times you wouldn't write good things about you.
God,
Did that.
no, that's not the case because I want to
You
deal
don't
with
wanna
reality. No,
you want to deal with reality.
I want to deal
tell
with
you
reality. People
is.
that are struggling, people are suffering. I want to deal with the problems.
Why are they struggling?
I don't want to.
To claim he wants to talk about reality, but he's in the same breath he's
Ignoring reality. Yeah.
to really talk about reality at all. It's the remarkable hypocrisy.
So, yeah.
Hold hands and surmise about all these.
Right. Pretending something is real isn't real. It's something else.
Hands and
Right.
surmise about
That's
why
the
something's
law of identity.
Here's the problem.
Right? Logic fallacy is one the law of identity.
Get specific and
That's
identify
equal
what's
to F.
causing the issue.
He's non-inclusion in the middle. He's not including all the people. He's not including every race too. So that's, and there are some minority than the others, right? So that's non-inclusion in the middle. He's excluding information on purpose to make his point.
These groups.
And in doing so, he's framing a contradiction. Right? It's the reason, the easy way he's getting stumped by just asking him why repeatedly is because he's creating contradictions.
The face of welfare is not an African American face.
It's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them.
Caucasian. It's a
Okay,
lot
so we're all
of society.
But you just at the beginning of this conversation claimed that 50% of African Americans don't have access to a checking account and that the results are overwhelming. So he's contradicting himself there.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account. But
Why do you bring up black and
because the magnitude is ominous.
So why? That's my question.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons why.
It's the third time he said that. Well, there's a lot of reasons in the wake of being asked, why is there that imbalance? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and I'm interested in fixing the problem, not talking about why the problem is occurring. Well, good luck with that. That's what you're going to get in conversations like this. There's a lot of different reasons that America is
Oh,
systemically
drop
racist.
stuff on the ground.
Specific
Sorry, I'm thinking too. I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm thinking about it.
podcasts, an hour long on YouTube. There's no video component, it's just audio. We do have this one clip.
Oh. It's gonna be like some other rating. It's gonna be some other rating.
What about their family?
I'm gonna be
You want to talk about their families?
yes.
Families are incredibly important. That's certainly part of it.
Boom. We'll put that bitch right on
It's
till we get
It is.
oh, well, why don't you guys
till we
talk
get
about that then?
the other rating.
Just brought it up.
We need.
It's a big part. It's a big part. It's a big part that you never talk about.
Personal responsibility confronts the story around systemic racism and what happens when those two confront each other.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
There's a lot of folks.
So if I go down to the
All
chip
right.
cashing place, lots of Jews and Asians.
There are.
Pause this again. Thank you very much for joining me. I've usually stop at 2 hours. I'm a little over 2 hours, and it's time to make lunch for my little grandbabies. Finally got the ring of grandeur. Thanks for listening to me, ramble on about shit I'm listening to. This is what my brain is really like most of the time. Like I'm playing a game like this, and I'm listening to something, and I'm thinking about it and comparing what they're saying on what I'm listening to things other people have said, right? And then I work it through. And I've been really working those ideas through at least the three main laws of logic, right? And there's a lot of other ones that go into, right, genetic fallacy. If somebody says, well, that's not real because it came out of X organization. Well, no, that's a genetic fallacy. If you're going to discredit that, whatever that is, you have to do it upon what is within the information or the data that came out of that, or not from where it's from, but what's within the data set. Right? Genetic fallacy. Straw man fallacy. Somebody starts talking about penguins, and you start arguing about giraffes and say they're actually talking about giraffes when they're talking about penguins, right? So that would be a straw man, like all these other fallacies. But this is what I'm constantly putting stuff like this in politics in my brain while I'm gaming, and I'm like, well, why don't I just do that while I'm streaming, right? Quit being shy about it. Quit being such a pansy ass, and talk to people while I'm doing this. So even though you hate me, you're gonna hate what I hear. I know my grandkids are going to be listening to this later, and hopefully they will learn something from it. If they can, like, if something happens to me, they can come back, listen to this shit later, and discern some idea, some semblance of intelligence into their own lives. Anyways, thank you for listening to my rant again here at Darth Grandpa Dad Games. Follow me on Twitch. Take the link over to my YouTube page. Follow me there, subscribe, give me some likes and shares, call me a dumbass in the chat, whatever, I don't care. If you ask me a question about the game, legitimate question, I will probably answer it on the next stream I do. For whatever questions you have, right? Or if I don't try to answer it in chat. If you have legitimate questions about the game I'm playing. All right, I will catch you all later. You have a good day. I must make lunch of my little bitty bitties. Bitty bitty bitty.